This is the story about how plants turned the Germany Nationals upside down with Blink Out, of all things. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more Oz content. Now, this is, compared to the UK Nationals that happened the same weekend here, this breakdown is kind of interesting. Strictly because you get to see the wide swing of numbers that happen out here. But you had Rika plants winning, so the plant good stuff back at it again, locking down a win here for Lithuania, for Germany, and getting second place out of the UK. Those were the most exciting, crazy, titanic things to happen here. Now, in your top cut of this event for top 32, you had 11 Snake Eyes present. Now, in comparison to how the UK felt about this, Tempai was not their leading, dominating deck, actually. So Snake Eyes, I'm not all that surprised to see. And then to follow it up, you had 2 Fire Kings. So technically, you had 13 possible combinations of Snake Eyes variations in the top cut of your event. Pretty interesting stuff. We had 5 Tempai Dragons here. Now, Tempai having a little bit lower of a representation here is not the craziest thing to see. I do think a lot of people are kind of leaning away from it. Once again, it depends on the region if Tempai is going to be a crazy deck doing well, or, you know, if it's going to be very successful. We also only had 3 branded players. This is actually one branded list higher than what we saw out of the UK. We also had 2 Chimera good stuff. I'm actually very shocked about that. I did not expect Chimera Illusion piles to even be relevant floating around out here. We also had 2 Fire King, so once again, I mean, your combination fire piles. 2 Rika plants. So once again, I mean, these plant decks squeaked into these top cuts and blew these top cuts wide open. We also had 1 Labyrinth. We also had a Centurion deck. There was a Centurion Lightsworn pile, I believe, that was also creeping around top 64. We had 1 Unchained Duelist find their way into the top cut. I did not expect to see that at all. We also had a Salad deck as well. Okay, Salad looks like it's definitely kind of calming down off of the craziness that it had kind of gassing up in a lot of the early parts of the format. For its combo pieces. We also had 1 Tier, and we also had a Sprite pile. Sprite was really starting to show some success out here at some of these lower events, and I'm intrigued by this. But overall, a little bit more rogue than what we saw out of the UK Nationals. I think that this is a pretty strong showing of how a lot of the meta is going to go, kind of, for what's left. We'll have to wait and see how Terminal Revenge splashes into things, but alright, let's pass on over to those deck lists. Winning this event is actually plants playing Blink Out. Target a link monster on the field, return it to the extra deck, and special summon one of the monsters from your graveyard that was sent there as link material. So we're just basically splitting back apart our plant monster. I really don't understand the full utility for this. I read a Blink Out ruling earlier for this, but also, oh, it's any. Oh, okay. Then you special summon one of the materials from your graveyard that was sent there. Okay, never mind. This card's actually pretty good, because this is an auto out 20 of your opponent's cards as well. I mean, hey, what if your opponent has an Apollosa on the field? Alright, you can use this both defensively and offensively. Reading is good. Oh, alright, this card's a lot better than I remember it being. Have Evenly's for going second, Thrust for standard plays, the standard board breakers. Actually having the Orchid built into the main deck's kind of cool. And you have 1 Laurel with the 2 Rosalinas. Yeah, there's not a lot of craziness to really talk about with the plant stuff. I'm not a plant player, but your boards are pretty good. We have Snake Eyes. Man, look at that clean 40. All right, they didn't want to waste any of their time with any tech choices, but they did manage to pack in, for whatever reason, triple Eradicator Epidemic Virus. I guess they have just been so angry with how the course of this format has played out that you want to make sure that you can have this card show up as a powerhouse to blow through. I mean, who's our target? Is it just... Are we just doing this with the access code talker, I guess? Okay, I guess it's just make a big access code talker, because there's nothing in here. Well, I guess, yeah, you can do it with the Diabell Star. So, yeah, interesting. Interesting. And of course, we have the skill drains built into the main deck. Man, this duelist really did not want their opponent to have fun. We're bringing in full gas combo here. Imagine you lose to Eradicator in 2024 because you're playing Labyrinth. Funny things you tell yourself for 500. All right, 50 cards. All right, good old branded good stuff. Double Quem, one Gimmick Puppet Turd. You've got, of course, a Triple Fusion Duplication in here. You do have the Brightest Blazing Branded King, of course, the Snatch Steal, the Change of Heart, both the standard one-up power cards here, so you can do your thing. And of course, interestingly enough, we have the Book of Eclipses in here. I guess Book of Eclipse has a new chance to kind of showcase what it wants to do in this format, especially, you know, I guess if you're playing branded, I don't know, going second to try to flip down any sort of problems that your opponent might give you. But I mean, if they've got a full link board, you know, you're just kind of like, well, you know, can't really do much. I also see we're doing the one-shot-all dragon in here. That's kind of cute to actually see. There's nothing really too crazy in here, except for there's no Super Poly in this build. This build has completely scrapped out Super Poly. Isn't that kind of hilarious to think about out here? That your meta has shifted so much. Okay, Tenpai Dragon Sky Striker Edition. Now this, the fact that you're playing 49 cards out here, and you're also only playing one Fadra, that is the craziest thing that I have seen in so long. Like, I want this card to resolve, but I mean, you're just, we seen this concept show up, what was it, last week? Where, you know, you're playing Dark Holes, Regekis, Droplets, you're just playing the massive Go Second game, you're going to harvest your deck to get all of these resources, whatever board your opponent's going to set up, you don't give two shits about. You're going to play through it, you have so many outs, like, it's actually kind of crazy just to see how much is present in this build to make sure that you can try to win the game. You also have the Santa Clauses, you have the Heat Waves in here, you have the other two Black Goat Laughs present as well. Congratulations to this. I cannot emphasize enough the level of craziness that we are actually seeing here. All right, and then we have our Unchained Duelist here. So you have the Phantom or the Thrones built into this, and you know, this is kind of why we're talking about the Splash package in the future here with this, because this build's already, you know, incorporating, you know, Dark Beckoning Beast and things like the Grave Squirmer here as well. That's going to be a pretty easy thing to go through. Of course, your name still being limited to one. Big ol' sad day. 42 cards is fine. Having the built-in rivalry is also going to be pretty good because type is going to be your friend. Hello, Mistaken Arrest. How are you? We're also citing the Underworld Goddess. I guess that there's some scenario that, you know, we have to actually have this, that, you know, our doggos can't really clean up along the way. I think is good. Outside of that, pretty tacked out. I'm happy to not see the Dark Contract stuff bulking its way down into this list. And trust me, we have seen so much of the Dark Contract stuff. Oh, hey, we have Centurion for you here. Okay, so we are playing the one copy of the Gargoyle. Triple of these have the standard shifter stuff. We're playing one copy of Bonfire, which, I mean, is fine to get to the Trudea. That's the whole point, is to, you know, make sure you can turbo it up. You do have the one bonds, of course, the triple stand-up Centurion, so you can get to the basic good stuff. With the super polys, I mean, we have the Earth Golem, the Garua, and the Mud Dragon. Side deck, once again, we see those Book of Eclipses that were very interesting choices for this region. We also have the Crossout Designators, and we have deck lockdowns in here to kind of power through this as well. Also, the King of Calamities. Yeah, resolving this and telling your opponent to get good. Still one of the best classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Tropes of all time. I think most of the tech choice ratios in this list are correct. Unfortunately, you know, you're still playing Centurion, you're still going to have a crap ton of issues in the meta, but this is an interesting idea. I like this. And then we have Lightsworn with a mini Centurion package. Okay, so once again, the turbo synchro idea of, you know, we can play one Primera, one Trudea with the two stand-ups, with the one Wake Up and the one Phalanx here. So basically, this little 6-card package just gives you access to get some turbo stuff going. That way you can actually hit a King Calamity up to actually have the floodgate on the opponent. So, you know, guess what? They can't play the game. Also, for a very refined Lightsworn list, I like this. This is some good stuff. So, what do you guys think about the breakdown from the Germany Nationals? Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.